after using GoPros like you use regular cameras, would you ever go back to having a normal camera? Is a GoPro just way too?
I already did.
I would use a normal camera just for focal lengths differences, but GoPros are just super convenient.
They are.
What's the one that you recommend
This
for
camera right
college?
now is the internet connection. So it's a little.
I don't think you said
I'm
that.
bored. This thing's gonna make me go
Okay,
normal.
well, it'll probably if all else fails, you can just listen, and then I always post a video after the fact, so you can watch the normal video, and that one will be way better quality.
Yes.
Because right now you're dealing with internet connection. That's the problem. The quality is there. It's just the problem is that going through the internet and downgrading it. So.
Yeah, I messaged her.
So. Oh, okay, we can do that.
The audio on GoPro is
More.
pretty good.
More. I'm not gonna be here Monday or Wednesday.
Okay.
Are you FaceTiming Isaac?
Yeah.
Can I,
We'll probably do we'll probably just do some notes on our now. So.
Okay.
All right.
Are your notes gonna be uploaded? Are you gonna take pictures of Morgan's or something?
Yeah,
and
I can
upload
do that.
them
I don't have that one.
to the website so I can at least copy them down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Gracias.
And
The sound's coming back.
Ward, what is wrong with this today?
wrong with what?
Kitchen.
The heater's kicking in for the first time, so just leave it be. It's gonna be a rough day. It's been
We
getting
were
worse.
just kicking it over here. all
Yeah,
day.
just don't do that. It'll make it worse.
Jared just beat the crap.
All right.
Where's my little bit?
Okay. I need somebody that is willing to come up here and write on my little iPad.
Brandon is.
Who wants to do it?
I will.
You're in. Come on in.
That's what we're-
He's like,
I get to sit
not
with
me.
What is the calculator you
Are you,
recommend
do
for
you wanna
college?
go then, Morgan?
It's yeah, 84.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Morgan.
That one?
Oh shoot, where am I going? This is
Uh,
Why didn't you go to that one?
Yay!
How much is
Okay.
it?
I'm glad you.
116 bucks to buy on sale.
That's awesome.
Oh, this is hard.
Otherwise, you go up to like 180.
It's calculated.
Okay. All right. Real quick. So whatever I write, just write down. You can change colors. The top where you can change colors.
I got it.
All right. Okay. Here's kind of our outline today. This is a tall order. These are all the different topics you're going to see in the actual problems. So you're going to see the first few problems are going to have you set up a table, find slope between certain points on the table. The next one, they'll give you a function and they'll say, hey, can you approximate or estimate what slope will be at this specific number? The next one will be comparing. So if you look at a graph, comparing all the different points on the graph and saying, okay, which slope has the better slope or which one has the smaller slope. You're comparing. Graphing in points. This is where you actually have to look at a graph and pick out which points have a certain slope, and you have to like match A with this point over here and B with this point. This is one where you have to actually draw a picture in the book and then put your points on it. The last one is equations and tangents. That's, or second to last problem I should say, where they give you a function and they'll say find the equation of the tangent line at this moment, estimate, what the point is down the road. That was the one we did yesterday. And then the last one is even versus odd, where you look at even functions versus odd and they'll ask you what the slope is at this certain moment. So these are the 6 types of problems you're going to see in the homework. You're going to have a few of each. Is there a certain type for sure you're like, I need to see this, or maybe you just need to see one of each. I have no idea what you need. Is there a certain one up here that maybe you're really hesitant about, like you don't understand tangent lines and equations of lines, or maybe you're just really bad at the whole comparing of slope problem? Is there
What?
just take a picture of it and email it to me. Sorry, you said from here.
Oh my god, you're staring
Sorry.
at me.
Like,
You were
I always
staring right
forget
at me
you
and
guys
I'm like,
can't hear that he's
what?
talking to me. All right. I'll go through number 6 later. So yeah, it's page 81. So I'll go through number 6. Sorry.
That scared the living crap out of me.
Yeah, that's fine. So
Look like you're-
okay, sorry. He had a question on different problems.
Well, you were staring and there's a glare and I couldn't tell if you were
No,
like.
sorry. I was looking at the board, seeing which problem he was asking about.
Oh my God, Lord.
Sorry.
I just,
I'll
like,
just stay
pooped my
over here.
pants.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay over here. All right. Is there a certain question up here for sure that you need to see?
Just do
Oh,
one of
that.
these.
Come on.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's real quick. We're just gonna do one quick problem of each type. So
Mr. Ward, I don't think you need to do a table one. Those ones are easy.
table ones are easy.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. Let's do the function and slope. So let's say one of
No, I'm just making sure.
okay. Let's say one of your functions is, let's say it's this. Okay. And this is what they're going to want. Okay. So they're going to say on the problem, they're going to give you some function. I don't care what this is. It could be trig function, it could be other things. And they're going to say estimate. They're going to say estimate the slope at 4. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about slope. Stop. You guys are annoying me.
Isaac said he was homework. I expect him.
All right. So you're going to estimate the slope at 4. So here's what you do. This is the easiest way to do it on a problem. You plug in numbers that are really close to 4 on each side of 4. So like for instance, I'd plug in a number like 4.001. Okay, that's a number really close to 4. And then I plug a number on the other side of 4, which is like 3.99. Right? Just plug in some numbers around it. And what that'll do is if I plug these numbers into this function, this is my x, right? And this is my x. I'll plug those x numbers in. What it will do is it will spit out a y number.
Why can't you just
Oh,
plug
I'm
in
too
4?
shaky for this. Oh
Can't
my
you just
god.
plug that into the quadratic formula? You get both of them?
Quadratic formula isn't slope. Quadratic formula is just, if I just plug in 4 up here, that doesn't give me slope, that just gives me the functional value at 4. So how you're supposed to attempt it, what they want you to do, is you actually plug the numbers that are really close to 4 in, so that'll give you some y number. I'll do that here in a second on a calculator. And I'll give you your y number out when I type in 4.01 into all those. And then you're going to set up this. That's what slope is. You're just going to subtract the x numbers, subtract the y numbers I got. So when I do this, I'm going to go 4.001 minus the 3.999. Those are my x numbers, right? Because that's how you do slope as normal. And then whatever these y numbers are that this thing spit out, when I plug these numbers in, that'll give me a really quick estimate to what my slope is at that moment at 4. There's other ways to do this, but this is the way that your book recommends it for this first kind of section that we're doing this stuff. So let me just use my calculator. I'll plug these numbers in. So I'm just going to type in the 4.001 plugged in here, and that's all I'm typing in. So 4.001 squared, and then I'm going to add 3 times 4.001, and then add 2. So I'm just plugging 4.001 into this and hitting enter on the calculator, and it tells me 30.011.
Did you just come up with those numbers?
I just made them up. Okay, and they give you those in the book. But they give you this stuff, and then what I do is I just pick the numbers that are close to it. So I just make the number up. So, no.
What?
I don't need to know that. So, it's not here right now. You don't want to know what you just said.
I want to know.
All right. Anyway. All right. So let's type in 3.99. So 3.999. I'm going to square that, and then I'm going to add that to 3 times 3.999, and then I'm going to add 2. So I'm plugging the 3.999 in here, and then the y number that it's spitting out is 29.989. Okay, does this make sense what I'm doing up to this point?
Yeah.
Plugging in values that are really close to 4, so it's giving me different y numbers.
Wait, you said you just made those up, right?
Yeah, these numbers I made up, but why I made these up is because it's really close to 4. By picking
Yeah.
numbers really close to 4, it's giving me slope that's really close to the slope at 4. Okay? Are we good so far? Yes.
Did you find the calculator in here yesterday?
No. There's nothing left in here when you left.
I don't know where I put it.
Okay. Probably in your locker, you just didn't see it. Okay.
Not in the same
All right.
spot I put it every
Yeah.
day.
All right. Hey, so when you do this, this will give you slope. This is the answer I'm looking for. Like actually, like multiply this out, or sorry, subtract this out, and then divide these numbers, and that'll give me the number. Does that make sense for that first one? Okay. So that's the slope at a certain function. Okay. Now the second or the third one, comparison.
Wait, you're not gonna finish it?
What was that?
You're not gonna finish
No, I mean whatever that number turns out to be. That's the
11. Got 11.
11. There you go.
It's 11?
So, all right. Let's go to the next one. So comparison now. I'm going to draw just a random picture. They're going to have you compare and tell me which number is bigger out of the two. So this is the next type of problem.
Oh no.
Ask Isaac if he wants me to keep this up here.
What?
Like this stuff, if he wants me to.
Isaac, do you want that left on there, or do you want to go to the next page?
Whatever he prefers.
I'm not gonna give her my AirPod, that's gross.
Ew. Isaac, type it in the chat what you
Just
want.
type in the chat if you want her to talk. There's a chat in Zoom. How did you not know this feature?
I wouldn't there be a chat?
I'll type some things so we might see it.
There's a chat. Pop up the chat. It's in the lower
Yeah,
button.
talk.
F in the
talk
chat.
about it.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
It'll pop her up.
He's definitely typing. I can hear him. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. So comparison. So let's say we have a graph, and let's say that this is what my function looks like. They're going to give you some picture, and they're going to give you a bunch of points on it. So or just different hash marks. Okay. Something like this. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so I'm just going by odd numbers, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, you guys get the idea. They're going to ask for certain things, and they're going to ask which one is the larger digit, like which one is a bigger number, comparing. Okay, and they're going to have a series of questions on maybe one picture. So that maybe they'll call this like figure 2.2. And they're going to ask you, like on question number 20, they'll ask you a bunch of different things about it. So they might ask, which one is bigger? So that's the question. Which one is a larger value? Is f of 3 a larger number, or f of 3 minus f of 5 all divided by 3 minus 5? Now, let's talk about what these are. Because obviously this is the hard part, is you gotta figure out, okay, what is it even telling me? I don't even understand like what those things are. That's like, by just knowing what these objects are, it's really easy to figure out. So for instance, f of 3, what this stands for, it's a function value at 3. Go find 3 in the x-axis and tell me what the y answer is. So 3
About 5.
is about 5. I'll go with that. It's about 5. Okay? And slope, yeah, so then this thing right here, that's just slope. It's the slope between 3 and 5. So the slope between 3 and 5, here's 3's answer, here's 5's answer, and I'm doing the slope between them. That's a negative slope. So it's like, this is a negative like fraction of some sort, whatever that is, it's just some fraction. And this is 5. Which number is bigger? Duh, 5 is bigger. It's bigger than a negative fraction. Question. They're going to have you do a bunch of those. The thing is, what you need to know is like, what are they giving you? Well, that means slope. This means the function value at 3. If they said f of 2 minus f of 1, that means you're finding the height difference between 1 and 2. Here's the answer for 2. So the answer for 2 is here. The answer for 1 is right here. They just want you to find the height. That's what that thing is. It's the height between 2 and 1's answer. It's the difference in height. So that's a small number. It's really tiny. Maybe they'll ask for something like this, like find the slope at 6. The instantaneous slope at 6. Well, here's 6, right? What's the slope right there?
0.
0. So now you're starting to figure out like really quick shortcuts to figure out like which number is which. Really, what it comes down to in this problem, like understanding it, it's just knowing like what are they giving you, and how do you find it like really fast, or how do you estimate it really quickly. Whatever these numbers are, these are the x numbers. The numbers that you're plugging in. And then the f is telling you to go find the y number. So if they say f of 3, go find 3 in the x-axis, and go find the answer at 3. So go find the graph.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Idiot. Yeah, fine.
Sorry. Okay.
Tell him we're calling him an idiot.
No, stop. He can hear you. He's going to get mad.
Isaac, you idiot!
Quit it.
Pull your head out for once. You're embarrassing yourself.
We're moving on. All right, let's talk about, okay, we did comparison. Graph and points. This is one where they're going to give you a picture, and they're going to put a bunch of dots on the picture. So,
did that, boy.
all right, so So the next one, graph and points. They're going to put a bunch of points on this graph. And so let's say this is A, B, and C. And they're going to ask you to match it up with the different slopes they have listed. Maybe they say, you know, the different slopes they have down here in this box. Maybe this is question number 30. I don't know, I'm just making these up. Maybe they say like slope is 3/4. And one of the slopes is 0. And one of the slopes is -2/7. Which one is which? Which one's A, which one's B, which one's C?
B0.
B is 0.
3/4A.
Okay, which one?
A.
Yep, and
A.
C is negative.
There you go. Yeah, because this slope is positive, this slope over here is negative, and this is 0 slope. Like you can really quickly estimate it. Maybe it's a little more steep, so that's a bigger number. So look for the bigger slope number. Maybe it's really steep, so it's a really big negative number, or smaller negative number. I don't know how you say that. Okay. So you're looking at like how it's tilted at that moment. Like that's called a tangent line. You look at the tangent line at that exact moment, kind of look at what the slope is. Well, what I did in college a lot is I always had a note card. And so if you held the note card at that exact moment, you look at the flat edge of the note card to see what type of slope it is. Is it positive? Is it 0? Is it negative? And it was just a quick way, if the graph was all over the place, you could like estimate real quick by just knowing the 2 points that are on the card.
So you cheated. So you cheated.
No, it's just way of visualizing. Okay. All right, that was graph and points. Is there any questions with the top 4?
No.
We didn't do the table one, sorry. I was recommending we skip that.
Whatever.
Okay, let's talk about the equation one. This is the one I was worried about yesterday. This is one we did in class, where they give you a graph, and they're going to ask you to find some point off of the graph that's on the tangent line. This one I was actually really worried about this problem yesterday.
Oh no.
It was something like this. And let's say they have some tangent line doing something like this, and they want to know this point down the road, figure out this mystery dot. And so this point right here, 1, 2, let's say this is the number 3, and this height right here is 3, 7. Cool, we'll do that. And they want to know this point over here. And maybe what they say is that, you know, f of 3 is 7. They say that, so maybe you can go draw that on the graph if you want
What
to.
is B?
And they say the f prime at 3 is -1/2. And they want to know, what is that mystery coordinate at 8? At 8. So 8's down the road. This is 8. They want to know, basically, what is that coordinate value?
Oh, you do the y minus y.
Point slope form. Yeah. Yeah, you do point slope, and then once you have the point slope figured out for the equation, then you plug in 8 and go solve it. So let me kind of walk you through that. What this stands for, this is the coordinate that I plug into my point slope form. It's 3, 7. This is my x, that's my y. This is my slope at that moment. It's -1/2. This little prime symbol means slope. So slope at that moment at 3 was -1/2. So if I go to point slope formula, here it is. Okay, so here's my formula. Where's my markers at? Where did I put them all? Oh, they're on my desk.
What color do you want?
I'm just
All of
kidding.
them.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to plug in my 3 and 7. So 3 is my x, and my 7 is my y number. And it's always the opposite when I plug in.
-1/2.
And then -1/2 is plugged in for my slope.
Plug in 8.
So that's my first start. And then you're absolutely right. If I need to find what the value of 8 is, like what function value is at 8, well, this is the line that's going to hit that point. So by just plugging in the x of 8, it will tell me what my y number is. So I'm just going to plug in 8 here. Just plug that in,
Wait, why are you doing that?
because this formula represents the line, right?
Yeah.
And if I plug in any x values into this formula, it will spit out the y answer where it's at on that line.
So you just pick the other x value that I gave
Yeah,
you?
so they just, whatever x they told me to, they told me 8. I'm going to go plug that in. And that tells me where I'm at. Okay? So this will end up being, you know, -7. This, if I multiply by -1/2, that's -4. Multiply by -1/2, that's positive 1.5. 3 times half is 1.5.
4.5. Yeah.
So I'm gonna add this across. So this will be 7 minus 4 plus 1.5. So it's 4.5, like you said.
Yes, sir.
And that's my y value. That's the number that they want. They want to know what this will be equal to. It's equal to 4.5. Questions?
No.
I'm gonna leave that on the board for a little bit. I know it takes a little bit of time to comprehend. The last one's the even odd function, so you have to like pre-draw an even odd function and see what the slope would do at those moments. Like on the right side, left side, what the slopes would be doing. Whether they're doing opposites, whether they're doing the same. You gotta look at what they're doing.
Is that where it's the word problem?
Yeah. Okay. For these things or just that 8? Oh, yeah, because the y1 and x1 in this formula, that's the coordinate you had to use. The x1 and y1, so that's the 3 and 7 that they gave me, that was a coordinate. And then the part below it, the f prime of 3, that was slope. Because anytime you see a prime symbol, that means slope. So I just plugged them in the right spots. Yeah, sorry, the prime symbol got lost on me. That's right there.
Yeah, Rob's. It's Ward's fault. You should shut the light off in the front. Won't that help?
You can. You can go to gallery view and drag it.
I did too.
Gallery view in the upper right corner.
He can't multitask.
And you can drag like the middle bar and make the
He says
video
he can.
camera
He told me he
bigger.
was great. Yeah, he says he's great multitasker. Exactly.
He
wasn't
around for that
Yeah. Old Ward and Ward.
All right, anyway, let's get to the homework today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, homework is gonna be due on Tuesday for you guys.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Okay, here it is, page 87. Now, make sure you're doing this on your own and stop cheating. I've been looking at the homework recently and you guys are copying each other. Stop copying each other, it's pissed me off. All right, 10 through 18, and then 22 and 23. So again, do it on your own. It's pretty blatant. So you're just copying other people's work or copying Slater for the love of God. It's pretty obvious when the work looks exactly the same, the spacing is the same. It's not obvious. You're just cheating. Don't cheat. Do it on your own. Figure it out. It's okay to struggle.
No, unacceptable.
I'm not a fish, I will never struggle.
Okay, so page 87, 1, 4, 5, 7, 10 through 18, 22, 23. Now I know that 10 through 18 looks big and menacing. It's not, it's just a lot of just the problems in the middle of graphs and what your comparison question.
Can I go get my book?
Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay.
all right, is there anything that you still need from me? I send you an email with the
No, actually,
assignment.
I do the first 4. Eric does the next 4 and James does the last 4.
Oh, that's not.
Okay. Let's do that right now.
Did I get the homework?